All right, I know you're wondering what's this big riff I'm talking about. Well, if you're a casual Rush fan, maybe you don't know it, but if you're a diehard, I'm sure you've heard it, you know it. It's off the first album. Here it is, and it's Not Working Man. Okay. That is Take a Friend off the first album with John Rutsey as the drummer. So this is going way back to the early days of Rush, the first album. I don't know if Alex had purposely done this. It was by chance, luck of the draw, whatever it was. That riff is just basically your root, your major third, and your perfect fifth out of the major scale. Okay, which in this case is the D chord, D scale, major scale, A, C, and the G. All right, so let's back it up even further, just so you can kind of see how this is deconstructed. We talked about D, A, C, G. If we look at just the 7 notes of the major scale, we'll start with D, root, second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, sixth, your seventh, you're back to the root. And then of course it repeats. But when we take it back even further, we go root, major third, your perfect fifth, which are also the same notes that make up any major chord, basically. Your root, major third, fifth, that is the, it's called stacking notes is what I remember it being called as. That is your foundation for a major scale. So you've got that scale right there. Well, that's actually, so if I did it this way, A, okay, that's D, C, G. All right. All that riff is, and again, as I've been kind of doing videos on triads and kind of different things within a major scale, it just kind of hit me right in the face right there. So not only is it a cool riff just to play, it is a great way to start to see parts of the major scale, parts of triad, parts of chords that maybe you don't typically see or have the understanding of, because it took me a long time to figure that out myself. Just seeing different things. Like for instance, if we have an A major scale, couple wrong notes in there. We're gonna try that again. We learn, at least I've learned, you start from one string, you go all the way down to the end. Truly what we're doing there is we're playing the major scale. I mean, I'm an A major in that position. We're playing that major scale 2 full octaves and starting a 3rd octave here. Okay? Keep in mind, a major scale is only 7 notes. There's your scale, and it just repeats. So we're gonna, in the key of, we'll use that A chord, which is the second part of that riff. We're just playing the root, major third, perfect fifth. So again, with the D major scale, A major scale, C major scale, G major scale. And it's just very cool how that kind of, again, I don't know if it was by chance, if it was outlined that way, it just happened, pulled it out of the air, that's how it worked. It sounds great. The other cool thing is that if you listen to that riff as it gets going, there is another track underneath it doubling up an octave higher. I don't know exactly what position he's playing that in, but as this is going, okay, that's doubling up about halfway through that riff in the intro. All right, so again, it's just more of that root, major third, perfect fifth. All right, and you're probably wondering, why does the shape look different up here? Well, it's because once you go from the third to the second string, because of the way the guitar is tuned, you've got to shift everything up a half step. So if I wasn't you know, if we wanted to do it like this, if I did it here, it's not right. We got to go. So we shift everything from the second string and even the first string up a fret. So. That's better. I think that was right. But that was one way to look at it. So very cool. And it's kind of funny because that, not exactly the same thing, but close to it. In that, the Anarchist, I think it's the Anarchist off of Clockwork Angels. Yeah. I forget how it goes now. So it's something like that. I'm not going to embarrass myself, which I already did probably. But again, something as simple as that just kind of, you know, turns into something magical, I guess. So give it a listen if you haven't. That whole album was actually really good. There's a lot of cool riffs on that album in general. So let me know your thoughts. Have you seen this before? Have you thought about this before? I mean, I don't want to say lifelong fan, but fan for a very long time, but I never put two and two together until just recently. So give it a listen if you haven't. I'm kind of curious what your thoughts are, and let me know if you knew this song before we kind of started going down this road here. And that's the other cool thing about the first album, and I guess you could put Fly By Night in there as well. This is truly when they were kind of just really trying to figure out what they wanted to do. It was more straightforward rock, you know, Led Zeppelin like, you know. But of course, they kind of went down their own path, and that's how, you know, that's our Rush today. So check it out. Kind of curious what your thoughts are. I mean, that's just how I looked at it, and you might think I'm nuts, but, you know, what are you going to do? See you later.